before with AI.
Okay. So two of us is in Washington State and one of us is in Louisiana, right? And
Yes,
you
ma'am.
then we had Leslie who you just come back from California. Am I correct? Not too
Mm-mm,
long ago. Where were you?
not. It's been a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in December.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You ready
So,
to
Miss
go
Helen, you were
again?
talking about
Mm-hmm.
the resilience of women,
Yeah.
and we
That's
were talking about all the things, all the multitasking that we have going on. Being resilient, we're going to make it work today, tomorrow, and from here on after, right?
We
And I was telling
recording.
you all about a
we
lot of
have
the women that I see out
we don't
here.
yeah, because
Go ahead, Miss Helen.
there's no one to do it for you. We can't shed tears and get out of those. We got to get on out there, push those tears off, wipe them down, and keep on taking it by the world by storm. Because there's a melody in us that won't let us stop. There are some things that we have achieved that nobody ever thought it was possible. But we just walked through the clouds, walked through the storms, hit that tornado, and then went on to the hurricane and said, "Come on, fine weather, 'cause we coming. We ain't letting you take us down." That's the way we have to live, and that's the only way that we survived because we have had it has been such that we should not have, but we keep no matter what. We just why do we keep multiplying? And it's not because we have so many children, it's just because we refuse to give up. We refuse to let our down, things that have caused us to want to say we can't go any further, to make us just move faster. Don't you ladies think so? Can't you think of some times when you just say, what can I do? And then all of a sudden you say, shoot, I'm gonna do something. Huh?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Just like we just had the author's appreciation, and there were so many times recently that I was
Oh,
like, "Oh my goodness, I could quit," but then that wouldn't benefit anybody, right? So, and it turned out beautifully, right? I
oh,
didn't have
good.
a
I'm
huge team and no this and that.
it.
It was just, you got to keep going. You have to keep on because it's bigger than just you, right? So,
Right.
I mean, for me, that's what it was. I don't know about everybody else, but for me, that's what it was. It was just um, resilience, I suppose, because
Well,
it was just I just had to keep going, and I just had to do in spite of. It's never going to be the perfect time to do
never,
anything, but
never.
it was the right time for some people,
Well,
you know.
the Black Author Appreciation was a milestone. It gave all the authors a chance to express their work, to share it, to share with each other, to feel the exuberance of the moment and know that you're being heard and that what you're doing is meaningful and you're with others who are like you.
Mhm.
If you have been writing and you're in your room or you're by yourself and nobody else writes and nobody else shares or understand what you're doing, it's a lonely journey. But when you're writing, it's like there's the four women behind me, and you look up and there are some people say, I need your writing. I need what you say. I need your expression. I need what you're telling me. Because if I don't have you telling me that, I'll think I cannot do it, but you can do it. You can do it and do more because that's what you got inside of you. Do you know your ancestors you come from? Do you know the shoulders that we stand on? Those were
Mm.
mighty women. You think about your grandma, you think about your mom, you think about the things that they had to endure, but they never look back. They just kept coming, kept going, kept doing what they needed to do. Even when it seemed like the rain would never stop falling, they went out there and said, "Shower me with your blessings," and kept right on moving. Come on, give me a smile there, Leslie.
Yeah.
That's right, baby. Honey, after you are a prime example. When
Yeah.
I said I know I can do it, cause I look at my you didn't nope. We cannot ever forget our resilience that has been given us. The resilience that's been given us. The we stand on ladders. We stand on tall trees. We stand on biscuits. We stand on cornbread.
Backpack. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. That's right. We stand on what they make women out of.
Right.
Not just whining and crying, but getting on in there and doing what they need to do and huh, and keep on trucking. I mean, I tell you, that is a fact of life. And those women that's behind me, they had some hard times, but they just kept doing what they needed to do and say, somebody needs my writings. Somebody needs what I'm telling them. Somebody
Right.
needs to know that there is always a door to be open for you. You just got to look for it and walk through it. Never look back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there have been some times when your tears fell and you just couldn't understand why they would stop. They wouldn't stop, and then all of a sudden you had a dry day and you said, "Phew, let me get through this tomorrow. Let me get through this right now. Let me do what I need to do, because if I don't do it, nobody can do it for me. Isn't that right,
Right.
baby? Right?
Yeah, it's right. It's true. Um,
Hmm. Yeah, we ain't having no pity bath.
yeah.
We having a good girl bath.
I think about like you said, think about my grandma, think about my mom. Of course those were our trailblazers. Of course those women were the ones that went through, but if we go further than that and think about even our great grandparents and
Woo.
stuff, like when we was talking about it at the Friday dinner at the Black Authors appreciation, um just all the things that they went through that we have no idea how much it took inside of them to just continue to have the will to live, continue to
Uh-huh.
have the will to pray, continue to have the will to just want to wake up in the morning after having their children snatched from them, after having to
Mm-hmm.
um be forced into sexual acts with somebody who did not look like them. I think about that, but what I think about today when I think about the resilience of women, like not just for myself, I think about a family member of mine just came up in my mind who has been for the last few years, and I won't name this person, but as a young person, very young, I think about what it takes for her every single day to wake up and still choose to fight and choose to be resilient and still put one foot in front of the other, knowing that, she's all alone, really,
Uh-huh.
and she's a kid. I think about women who have been out on the street, been homeless, the resilience it takes to continue to just love yourself, especially when you find yourself in those positions. I've been there before, with children, without children. And it's
Right.
easy, when you wake up and you have to face the elements of what is outside, the cold, whether it's extreme cold or extreme heat. It don't matter. It takes a strong willed person to stay resilient in the face of the fire when it's blazing in front of you. And so we could talk about it, being a single mom, just struggling to make ends meet. and do the best you can for your children. I watch my own mom do that and work hard. And like, I read a little excerpt from my book at the Black Author Appreciation at the event itself, when it and I read that little piece because I have to remind myself every day of it, that we women, and it's not just Black women, it's women, we have backbones of steel. We have to stand erect in front of so many obstacles. We have to continue pushing on and pushing forward, like you said, Miss Helen. And nobody offers us a, "Are you okay? Do you need a
Right.
helping hand? Is there anything I can do to help you?" No, more times than not, they're there with their hand out, and it's the women who have to continue to wear multiple hats. You know what I mean? And
Right.
yeah, and we don't get a nod or a pat on the back.
Thank you.
It's something that's expected of us. And so, you know,
It,
it's sad, but it's the truth. But I love being a woman.
well,
So,
I'm gonna tell you like this. When I
One of
look
my
in the mirror and I see what God has blessed me with, because my mother's always said, sometimes God is blessing you and you don't even know it. When the
hmm,
road is hard, it's just making training you, getting you
right,
prepared so you can keep on and can do the things that you need to do.
right.
Never feel that just because you're in the struggle that that's the end of everything. That's just
Hmm,
the challenge that's making you strong enough when you have to
hmm,
go through the fire.
right.
You can walk
Yeah.
through it on, come on out. Isn't that
Mhm.
right?
I think about my one of my mentors in the business in Legal Shield, and she's gone through cancer, and she's living with taking care of her kids and everything, and her husband, and
Mhm.
just like the struggle that she's going through, and she's still leading from the front, right?
Mhm.
She's still showing up. She's still showing up for other people and mentoring them and trying to, have them fight for
Uh-huh.
you, and still dealing with her health issues and everything. I mean, she exudes resilience to
Yeah.
me. I think about this lady that I met today down here in New Orleans, who, she's got her full regalia on and this and that, and she looks homeless, but I'm sure she's probably not. But you would look at her and maybe society would discard her, right?
Mhm.
But
Uh-huh.
like, she's out here and she's got her hustle, and she's doing what she needs to do to survive on the streets post Katrina, and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she is just really, making a way for herself in a society where, people are
She
just walk away from her or whatever. And she's like, okay, well, you can walk away from me, but I'm not going to walk away from myself.
Mm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's yes, that is. I think that Lynn, you're muted.
It went on mute. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's just all the different things that we have to navigate to, show up for ourselves and show up for other women and the men in our lives, right? But not
Right.
not giving up because someone is depending on you, and not giving up because you have to depend on yourself in a lot of
Mhm.
Yeah,
situations.
and we have to depend on others ourselves, but in our dependency, we still take charge of the things that we can control in our lives to make things move and happen for us that
Yeah.
ordinarily, we can't just sit idly by and let someone else take charge, because when they take charge, we might lose all control over our personal selves. And that's one
Right.
thing as women we are struggling from day one. Not to let they might have
Mhm.
got us on the apple one time, but they ain't gonna get us on
Right.
the apple no.
Right.
we we are not going in that direction.
Mm.
So yes, I will say to all women, think for yourself.
Ooh, cold chills. Yeah. I was just having a conversation this morning with Mary and Jim, some really good friends of mine, and they always like remind me of how much I'm going through, how much I'm dealing with simultaneously at the same time, all these different things that I'm navigating. And I think for me, I really just I just move, but it takes a certain level of emotional and intellectual intelligence that when things come upon us, like we have to, as women, make quick decisions. Sometimes we might not make
Hmm.
the right decision. Sometimes we may go back to the table and think about the decisions that we've made, and try to, you know, reevaluate. But we are always like thinking on the go. You have to, because as a mother, as a daughter, as a woman, who is always going to be underneath in society's eyes, the man, whether it's a white man, a black man, we are always going to be beneath, if you think about it, because this this world
Society.
was created, the societal norm is always, and it's going to always be fit for, or put together for the man, right? So I think that as women, it is this country was built, you know ideally and intellectually put together by a man. Women were always, second.
Subservient,
Yeah,
you're saying. But well,
subservient. And it's not like
yeah,
that these days. We know that. But I think
but
that it definitely plays a part on how we have to think on the go, and always be, a little bit sharper and a little bit quicker to make decisions.
I think what you said is absolutely right. But I also think that that women need to be aware of the fact that men like themselves make mistakes. Men like themselves are human. Men like themselves
Yeah.
are, so
But they
when
don't think so.
they may put the blame on you for what
Yeah.
they've done, but now we're not Eve. We know where the blame should be placed. We know when they fall short of the mark.
Of
And
course.
and 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 I don't know about any other woman, but then sometimes they need to be told,
Right.
and they
And
need
I'm
to
one
know
of
that
them who would tell it.
yeah, if you're doing if you're doing your best,
Yeah.
God will do the rest. But
Right,
if you're
right.
doing sluggish and slow and don't want to go,
Mhm.
get back and
Right,
let me
right.
take over.
Yeah. I know that's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Mm-mm.
That's why it was so good for me this weekend, just being around so many positive, forward moving, forward thinking women who
Mm,
so like running their businesses or
right.
families, and just being able to sit and talk and be in spaces where there's so much positivity and so much motivation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This
Just
weekend
like
has
they say, empowered women empower women, you know? You
exactly
know.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
And even some of the young ladies that I used to work with, at the childcare, who are now grown and running their own businesses, and um, running their families. It's just great to see, right? Even
Yeah.
looking at my daughter, Precious, and running her little family, and I don't know why I say little family. I don't know why we do that. Way little, but and seeing my daughters, I'm inspired by them, by their resilience, right? Even with, my youngest daughter getting out and, serving her term, and then being such a great mom and doing
Right.
that she's doing. And, it. like she was at home with just her and the baby this weekend, and her texting me like, hey, I did this and this, I found strength that I didn't even know that I
Mm.
had, you know
Mhm.
I was able to navigate this, and I didn't think that I could. I was scared at first, but now I can, and
Right.
Princess will get on the road in a minute in her car and drive cross country or wherever she's going, um,
Mhm.
That's good. That's good.
oh,
But they
this
had to get it and see it. They had to witness it, and they've obviously witnessed it from you and seeing all the things you've done and what kind of mother they have. And so that has to be mentioned because if they hadn't seen their mom be so resilient and doing the things that you've done, I mean, you know, so kudos
but
to you.
I think I
Mhm.
learned a lot from them as well, right?
Hmm.
I always tell them I'm gonna be like them when I grow up, right?
Yeah.
When I get to that point. But just just watching them come into their own, it's amazing
Right.
to see my boys too, right? But tonight we're talking about the resilience of women, so that's what
Right.
I'm
Okay.
focusing on.
We're
But
gonna focus that in that direction.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just saying, it's good to see them come into their own, and it's good to see the influence that you've had on someone, and now they can take the ball and run with it, or take the baton
Hmm.
and run with it, and just seeing these ladies out here, because usually I get in my car and I go wherever I'm going, and then I'm back home or whatever, not sitting and talking unless I just know somebody talking to them. But to be out here and walking the streets and talking to people and finding
Uh-huh.
I'm like, man, I need to do this more often. I mean, it has inspired me to just go down and sit and listen to people's stories and watch.
There you go now. That's my style. That's my style. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Down by the Mississippi River and watching folks, and seeing their stories is just, it's been amazing, And
That's good.
about the resilience, I'm looking at, all these different side hustles or whatever. I'm seeing red, yellow, orange, and blue braids that someone's like, yeah, my cousin should be doing hair, da 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 on the side. All kind of locks that they're doing, they getting it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, representative of who we are.
Yeah.
you know. So that has been amazing for me to just to remind myself that the world is bigger than you think it is, and women
Hmm.
are more resilient than you give them credit for. And you know, we went into one store and it was ran just all women, just all women in there,
Uh-huh,
running
uh-huh.
and doing, and I was like, y'all better get it,
Mm.
y'all better get it.
Uh-uh.
It's
Well, I
amazing.
want to say, there's one woman. She had when I see her, she always has her hair in just an array of beautiful styles.
Mm.
And when I look at her and see her braids swirled up on top of her head, and I just see a queen.
Miss Helen,
That's
stop
moving.
it.
Now, I can't. You want what? How can I stop? You don't want me to tell the truth?
Well,
Huh?
tell the truth, Miss
Hey, shame
Helen.
the devil. Shoot, girl, you remember you got that up there. I mean, that looks just like a crown. I was
Yeah.
looking at my social media and I saw a woman with. I said, if that don't look like Leslie, got that
Mm.
crown on her head, shine.
Okay. I'm just,
That's
I
putting
y'all
we
was
put each
saying
other.
today. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we're always criticizing each other. We're always trying to find the worst thing to say about each other, or where we don't, what we can see something that you could have done. No, I have to look at you
Right.
and look at other women and see the beauty in some of and what they're doing and what they
Right.
have. What they may not have all that other women have. But girl, when I see that crown,
Mm-hmm.
I see a crown. I don't see no braids. I see a crown, girl.
I know that's right,
Ain't
too.
that
Say it
right?
then.
Well, yeah,
And
because
I received it.
all right. When I saw Lynn stressed out over there, I said, "Look at that queen."
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, "This woman is saying, hey, here I am. What? Look
Hmm.
at what I can do, and what
And
I am willing to do." So you ladies, yes, I saw your crown, baby, and I know one thing. Yes, the life is tough sometimes. Life
yeah.
is hard sometimes. But you know what? Nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
Nothing can
Yeah.
stop you now because you. Hey, when you say I've been to the mountaintop, I'm ready to
Hmm.
go down the hill and I can slide down there.
Right.
It was a rough road going up. But
Yeah.
girl, honey, yeah, don't you ever forget when you every day you look in the mirror, you said, Miss Helen said I got a crown. I better get it.
Okay. All right. All right. I will. I was talking to my niece today. I went to spend time with her, and she was asking me some questions and asking me how, just asking me questions. And so, what I was telling her, what came to my mind is how, as a dark skinned woman, first and foremost, that's already something that a one layer on top of many layers, that things that we have to deal with. But I told her about my coworker who's you know, always trying to connect with me now, and we've come a long way. But and I don't say it to be negative or nothing, but it's like we were talking about black folks because this lady has spilled her Starbucks coffee. Everybody's standing there looking at her, and my niece went to go help and put napkins down, and she said, "It's always us, Auntie, the black folks who will do the first." Soon as she made the first move, now everybody want to help. But I told her, I said, "Girl, I've been going through." Stuff like that for I don't know how long, but I was thinking about at my job. I've always been, it seems like, the 25 years in prison, always the only black person who worked around a whole bunch of white folks, right? But,
Ah,
but when you talk about resilience, because you already feel like you're the odd person out, you already feel like you got to jump twice as high and speak twice as loud, just to, even if you know that
be
you're
heard.
you're doing probably a better job anyway,
Right,
but
right.
it's you. I think about that when I think about resilience, because going through that system, you got to pull it out the hat. You got to make sure that your head is always held high, and that you don't let them see you sweat, because they always looking for you to break. And so I
Yeah.
think I say that because Lynn spoke of Nunu telling her that she dug down and found strength that she didn't know she had. But doing, she did enough time, but doing the amount of time that I did, and doing time away from your
Yeah,
like
children.
like
Hmm.
Lynn always say, hashtag to the village, away from your people, away from, you're separated. The system is put in place to break you. It's put in place to oppress you on top of the oppression that we already go through. And it's just like, you have to be resilient. You have to, you find the strength that you didn't even know
Yeah,
you had. Period.
yeah,
So
right.
I'm really happy to hear that, because it gives me hope, and I know she'll do well. I believe it, moving forward, as young as she is, she's going to show herself, because she's going to show up for herself, how resilient she really truly can be. Because now she's out here going to have to make it, just like I'm out here trying to make it.
You had that in that, right? Because when she got out, I'm like, I haven't been incarcerated. I don't know
Right.
that struggle, right? So of course I passed you, her on
Yeah.
to you,
Yeah.
and that was you were very encouraging to
Yeah.
her, you
Right.
know, and stuff, and you were talking about, your niece earlier, and I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking about my niece. I ain't gonna mention her name because you might not
Right.
want to.
Right. Right.
As being a single mom, didn't plan to be a single mom, but if I tell you anybody is rocking being a single mom,
Okay. Yeah.
co-parent. She does have a
Yeah.
co-parent, but for the most part, it's her and that baby.
Mm-hmm.
And she's about to graduate and
Yeah.
all this stuff. But in the midst of raising her child, starting her business, and
Yeah.
going school and doing all these just wonderful things. I tell her too, when I grow up, I'm gonna be like
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yes.
It's a great thing to see and to witness. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, and and then Miss Helen, you talk about everybody else, but you're always encouraging other
Yeah,
people fighting. I mean, even in, the group that we're in with AWA, I see Miss Helen fighting for the underdog or fighting for what's right. And, when she believes that something it isn't as it should be,
right.
constantly fighting like, no, this, we need to change this, or advocating for other people who don't necessarily use their voices,
Mhm.
always, and
Mhm.
that
I really
loving,
appreciate that.
straight no chaser, but also with love,
Yeah.
also with love all the time,
Yeah.
Miss Helen's like, okay, or I might say something and be like, I'm upset about this, and Miss Helen would be like, no, wait a minute, maybe see it from this vantage point, right?
And she always redirected my shit because I get I get how I get real quick. And she'd be like, now, come on, Leslie.
Well,
No.
you ladies are absolutely standing examples of women who refuse to quit,
Yeah.
refuse to allow life to take you over. Don't let anyone steal your joy.
Right.
Yeah, and it's so easy to do.
Yeah, it is.
Being sad is just easy. You just put your mouth down and then say, "Can't nothing happen." But getting up there and say, "Hell, it's gonna happen."
Okay.
It's gonna happen. I don't know what you thinking and what you talking
Wow.
about, but it's gonna happen for me. And so
Yeah.
when you do that, you are letting it be known that you are a woman.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
not a little girl. You are a woman, and you
That's
take
right.
charge of your life. And it's not saying that there are very good men out there, but a
Right.
woman needs to take charge of her life so that she can become someone she's proud of. When she look in the
Yeah.
mirror, she don't see the man; she see herself,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
let him see her. But she
Yeah.
I
needs
think
to also see herself.
that
I
you
love that. I agree with it 1000%. And yeah, for real. Because we're individuals.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you can be with, you can join up, you can join forces, but at the end of the day, you came in this world alone, you're gonna leave alone. You're individual and you need to be able to walk in your individuality. And I believe that. And I don't think that it should take anything away from anything, you know?
Well, unless someone wants to take it from you, and then that's when you got to
Right.
stand up. You got to stand up and be like the female lion when the roar of the male something, and he try to do something, she slap him upside the head. Nope, not this time.
Okay.
It's going this way.
first of all,
Yeah.
Yeah.
first
You
of
we
all,
can we can
way more than a lion does, right?
right.
The lion is there, he's big and he's strong, but the lioness does way more than the lion does.
Way more. She got to hunt for the food. She got to let those babies nurse her. She got to carry them in her mouth. And he be sitting back there looking and maybe
Yeah.
sometimes sleeping. Uh-huh.
Waiting on food to come.
Mm.
Don't forget your value. You're
You're right.
valuable. You're not valuable because some man had you or because he married you. You're valuable for who you are. Whether you're
Exactly.
married to him or never married.
You're
That's
right.
what you got to realize.
Hey.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can die soon, but you can live in hell a long time.
Mm.
A long time trying to please somebody that don't want to be pleased.
Right. Mm.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Or trying to please other people who gonna tell you who you should and shouldn't be with.
Right.
That's not their place.
Yeah.
They're not gonna give you their husband to sleep with. So how they gonna tell you who you need to be with? And then there may be some, but you have to be given the permission to absolutely. figure out how you can rearrange your life in a way that keeps you on track and your joy within your heart. Once
Yeah.
you decide somebody's not for you, you let them go and
Mm,
don't come back. But then there are women who don't do that. They're cemented into that lifestyle. But
mm,
for being a woman, being a person, period. After you reach a certain age, you have to make decisions that you feel is going to better yourself, better your life.
mm.
Because
Yeah,
even if you do what the other person say, if you're not happy, you still might as well be where you were in the way.
I know that's right.
I really believe that, one of the good traits of a resilient woman is just finding resources and using them, making them work for you, right?
Yeah.
Or, making,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the church, out of the church, just women in
Mm-hmm.
general, finding those resources and making it work
Yeah.
for you
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
family,
Yeah. Yeah.
whoever you have to make it work. I think resilient woman, whether it was, starting a newspaper and getting the word out, figuring out coded language to make, the village know what's about to happen without others finding out, right? Whether it was
Yes.
certain ways, you got the map in your head to help others escape, right?
Yes.
Resilience is
Yes.
Yeah.
just brilliance and
Yes.
resilience, right?
It was
But that
really
doesn't.
hard.
What is that? Talking, telling earlier about not taking away from other people, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
saying, "Candle doesn't lose anything by lighting another candle," right?
Right.
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 Take somebody else, or we don't have to belittle anyone else to move our
No.
forward, right? To advance.
Mm-mm.
I think that's a great trait of a resilient woman too, is to get what you need, take what you have to take, but also help someone else, so
There
that they,
you go. Yeah, so they can survive. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I don't want to pull the wagon and if it's full of bricks. That means people who don't want to do nothing. But but I'm gonna tell you that this, if you help a little bit,
Yeah.
if you get out there and push a little bit, we can get it on up the hill. But
Okay.
I ain't carrying all them bricks. You know, you got some people that weight you down, honey.
You
All they
got
want,
that
yeah, all they want is somebody a helping hand so they don't have to walk.
right.
And
Ain't
they
that
want
the truth?
that mountain is hard and heavy, and when we going up there, we all gonna push.
I know that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when I was in school, going to school day and night. I would, and my car would about okay. I get out of school at 9 o'clock. I get home I get about 10:30. Now 9:30. I'm on the road, and all of a sudden the butterfly. You had that butterfly and it just go out, and then I had to get out the car and start that butterfly, run and then get back in, jump back in there. But it taught me to be resilient. It taught me that when the storm comes, you just got to do what you need to do to make sure that you can survive it. and
Right.
and and so and so it was a lot of you. Once I got my degree, I look back, I said, Lord, how did I make it over? But I made it. And so that's
Mm,
what I want to tell young women and older women, whoever you are. There's always a bridge and a mountain to climb. But
mm.
if you throw some of the bricks out that wagon, you'll get up there.
Okay. Come on. Ain't that the truth? Yep. Yeah.
Everybody
I
ain't
like
built for the
that.
altitude you climbing to.
Yeah.
What she say?
Everybody's not built for the altitude that you're
That's
climbing
right.
to.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah, 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 that's it. That's right.
Yeah.
They're not. And look, you know what I say? I don't take nobody with me kicking and screaming. If you
Okay.
don't want to go in my direction, you find your own. Because I'm not gonna take them and you up there. Because as soon as we get to the top, you're gonna find some reason to complain.
Right. Yeah.
uh-uh. Yeah, you got to come with me because you want to come, not because
Right.
I'm dragging you. I learned that. My niece said, not kicking
Hmm.
and screaming. Nope.
Hmm. It's oh,
I
I'm tweezing.
You say that all the time too. Don't take nobody with you kicking and
Kicking and
screaming.
screaming. Woo! Now you talking about a hard road to vote.
Mm.
Vote to roll. Because they going to be trying, I want to get out. I want to get out. And you trying to say, wait a minute, we haven't got to shore yet. I want to get out. The next thing you know, both of you out there in the water trying to swim.
Drowning. Everybody's
Mm-mm.
drowning.
That's right. That's just trying to find. Mm-mm. No, no,
But
no, no, no.
when I get to
Uh,
shore, I'll give you a rope and you see if we can come on. That's what I'll do. I'll throw you a rope.
yes, indeed. And if you want it, now if
Oh,
you yeah, don't miss it now. You got to want it. But no, when we're talking just uh and in conclusion, what I would always say is that we need to help each other rise, not sink, if we can. And if you can't, then just make sure that you have enough strength to rise yourself and move in the direction that you feel that you need to. Because if someone else is sinking and you're trying to help them and they decide that they don't want to go, you have to let them make their own choices and not let them influence your choice to stay in a place that's going to take you, sink you, and take you down too. And like I used to tell my girls when I was working in the flower group, dogs piss on weeds, not flowers. So you get to be, you get that fertilizer to make you some flowers, become flowers, and that's what I truly instilled in them. You're valuable, but only if you can see that value in you. You look in that mirror every day and say, I am beautiful. Not because a man says I'm beautiful, not because my friend says I'm beautiful, not because someone tells me if I do certain things I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful because I see me as beautiful. Is that all right? That's resilience.
Yeah, because beauty doesn't always have to do with looks or the outer appearance. It's,
That's right.
it's who you become by the things that you do, by the way that you show up for yourself, by the way that you show up for others. That's
Hmm.
beauty.
That's beauty.
Yeah.
That's an internal beauty that you don't have to ask anybody. You fix up and make up. It's there forever.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
I am going to, if all minds are clear, we're gonna stop this conversation because it's
Um, you know,
deeper. And
I love it because it was so straight, so authentic, and so loving. All minds are clear.
all minds is clear.
That's right.
spit out the gum. No, I'm just
You got you good. You know.